I've been tracking Unreal Engine 5 games for months, and what's coming next honestly changes everything. In this video, I'll show you 25 upcoming titles with near photorealistic graphics that are set to redefine how real games can actually look. Chrono Odyssey has been quietly evolving throughout its 2025 development cycles, with the team deliberately taking extra time to refine the experience based on feedback from early closed beta tests held in mid-2025. Developers have been actively addressing player concerns around performance, user interface clarity, animation quality, and overall combat responsiveness, and many of these changes have been widely discussed within the community as fans noticed steady improvements in newer builds. The game is set in the dark fantasy world of Cetera and centers on time-bending mechanics powered by a device known as the Chronotector, alongside 6 distinct playable classes and a blend of solo and group-focused content that mixes PvE and PvP encounters. Community sentiment remains cautiously optimistic, with excitement building around what the game could become if the current level of polish continues. To meet those expectations, the official release has been delayed toward late 2026, shifting away from earlier 2025 targets to give the team the time needed to deliver a more refined launch. Frostpunk 1886 marks an expansion of the Frostpunk franchise and appears to be a next-generation remake or reimagining of the original game, rebuilt using Unreal Engine 5. Recent developer updates have showcased early footage, teasing a significant visual overhaul alongside refined mechanics designed to modernize the experience. The project is being developed by 11-bit studios, who have been actively engaging the community with behind-the-scenes content and calls for player input as development continues deeper into 2026. While there is still no firm release date confirmed, the current direction suggests a launch further down the line, likely around 2027. The game aims to preserve the core survival city builder identity of the series, emphasizing brutal cold, impossible moral choices, and humanity's struggle against a hostile environment, all rebuilt from the ground up with modern technology and deeper systems.
In the future updates, so stay tuned. Be sure to wishlist the game or that just a remaster. We're expanding the game to give you a ton of units. We are upgrading the lighting system to enhance the city's atmosphere and hide in a major way. We can show you a sneak peek into this process today. One of the biggest
Morbid Metal is a fast-paced hack-and-slash roguelite focused on real-time shape-shifting between powerful characters, allowing players to tear through hordes of enemies using explosive combos and face brutal boss encounters. Combat revolves around switching fighters on the fly, seamlessly blending different attack styles into fluid and frenetic combat loops that emphasize acrobatic movement and replayability. Developed by Screen Juice and published by Ubisoft, the game leans heavily into stylish action and evolving combat systems. Morbid Metal launched into early access on August 20th, 2025 on Steam, giving players access to an evolving build and the opportunity to influence development through feedback. Ongoing community updates highlight active playtests featuring new characters, arenas, progression systems, and bosses, all rolling out as part of a broader roadmap leading toward a full release.
But rewarding. Each new run reshapes the world. Layouts shift, enemy own unique combat style and active abilities, which are unlocked as you explore the simulation, with their own attack patterns and weaknesses. And at the end of every biome, you'll face powerful types change, and you'll have to adapt and make strategic choices to succeed.
Grand Theft Auto 6 is Rockstar's long-anticipated open-world action-adventure, and has remained one of the most talked-about projects in the industry for years. Rockstar has officially confirmed a release date of November 19, 2026, following multiple delays from earlier 2025 and mid-2026 windows, as the studio continues to push for additional polish. The game returns to a modernized Vice City setting and introduces dual protagonists, including the series' first-ever playable female lead, alongside a more traditional criminal counterpart. It promises a massive, immersive open world packed with the freedom, chaos, and narrative depth the franchise is known for. Development is reportedly in a high-pressure final phase, with teams still refining missions, environments, and systems ahead of its late 2026 launch.
Say Vice City, baby! Vice City, baby! I remember in the time.
The new beginnings.
You break the news, isn't it? Hey.
We happened to the
Ikuma. The Frozen Compass is an upcoming narrative-driven survival adventure set in the brutal Arctic wilderness, where players step into the role of Sam, a young cabin boy struggling to survive alongside his loyal sled dog, Ellie. The journey takes place across freezing landscapes filled with scarce resources and environmental dangers, while gradually uncovering mysteries tied to a doomed expedition, blending survival mechanics with an emotional coming-of-age story. Developed by Moon Eye Studios, the team behind Lost Ember, the game combines exploration, puzzle solving, and strong narrative focus into a cohesive experience. Players can switch between Sam and Ellie to overcome environmental challenges, and the game also supports cooperative play, allowing a friend to join and help navigate the harsh, frozen world together.
Chirac ain't alive, but they ain't dead neither. Quiet now. They lurk in the dark.
Ballad of Antara is a fantasy action RPG announced for PlayStation 5, set in a vast and mystical world that has been ravaged by a mysterious mist plague that fractures reality and leaves entire regions in ruin. Players take on the role of powerful beings known as emissaries, each wielding unique abilities connected to elemental essences, as they explore handcrafted regions filled with danger, forgotten history, and fragmented civilizations. A key part of the experience is the Para, an eerie alternate dimension that mirrors the world while hiding deeper secrets, powerful enemies, and hidden truths tied to the collapse of Antara itself. Multiplayer features allow players to team up to battle towering foes, reclaim lost essences, and uncover lore across diverse biomes. While there has been scattered online speculation suggesting the project may have been cancelled, these claims remain completely unconfirmed and are based solely on community rumors without any official statements, meaning the game's status should be treated with caution until clear confirmation arrives.
Remember,
these essences shall not fall into your treacherous hands.
I pray for their grace.
Directive 8020 is an upcoming interactive horror title set within the Dark Pictures anthology, placing players aboard the colony ship Cassiopeia after it crash lands on the hostile alien world of Tau Ceti F. The game follows multiple protagonists who must survive a relentless shape-shifting alien threat, with every decision potentially determining who lives and who dies as the story branches in dramatically different directions. Gameplay blends cinematic storytelling with survival horror elements, including stealth, real-time threats, and tense quick-time events that heighten the sense of danger. A new mechanic allows players to revisit critical decisions, adding another layer of strategy and replayability to the narrative. Directive 8020 aims to tighten the horror experience while maintaining the series' signature focus on choice, consequence, and escalating psychological tension.
What is that? You feeling?
What is that?
This being the human form is replacing us.
I know this will be difficult.
The Night Wanderer is an upcoming single-player RPG and Souls-like hybrid that casts players as Vuko Drakainen, an elite soldier on a deeply personal mission to uncover the fate of a missing scientific expedition. Set on the alien planet Midgard, the game blends fast-paced, tactical combat, inspired by Soulsborne titles with expansive Metroidvania-style exploration, encouraging careful progression through interconnected environments. The world combines medieval-inspired architecture with strange alien elements, creating a setting that feels both ancient and otherworldly. As players explore Midgard, they uncover hidden secrets tied to the planet's enigmatic forces, with narrative threads woven directly into the environment, enemy encounters, and level design, reinforcing a sense of mystery and isolation throughout the journey.
They said her only hope, the ship carrying a woman. She was confined by the abyss. Liz said she died, giving sword ablaze.
SCP Valravn is an upcoming horror-focused first-person shooter set within the SCP universe, where players assume the role of Lena Sorvoja, a GOC combat operative tasked with infiltrating the ominous Valravn Corporation. Her mission is both professional and deeply personal, as she seeks to rescue her father while navigating facilities filled with weaponized anomalies and unpredictable threats. Gameplay blends stealth and high-intensity action, requiring players to balance careful planning with aggressive firearm combat, as enemies blur the line between tactical shooter encounters and pure horror scenarios. The environments emphasize tension and uncertainty, with bizarre anomalies and shifting dangers keeping players constantly on edge. The game is currently listed as coming soon on Steam, with no official release date announced, but it remains actively discussed and wishlisted within the community. Soulframe is an upcoming fantasy action MMORPG from the creators of Warframe, set in the lush and mythical world of Alka, where nature, spirits, and ancient forces shape the land. Players take on the role of envoys, exploring vibrant environments, forging pacts with spirits, and engaging in combat that emphasizes swords, magic, dodges, blocks, and precise timing rather than fast-paced gunplay. The game supports both solo play and cooperative exploration, allowing players to journey together or venture alone through its nature-steeped regions. Combat is intentionally slower and more deliberate than the studio's previous work, aiming for a grounded action, RPG feel rooted in melee encounters. There is currently no official full release date, as earlier targets such as 2025 are no longer considered realistic, with developers prioritizing long-term quality over deadlines and community expectations placing a potential launch somewhere in 2026, or possibly extending into 2027. Marathon is a new extraction shooter from Bungie that reimagines the studio's classic FPS roots into a modern, team-based PvP experience built around movement, loot, and tense tactical encounters. The game focuses on squads competing in hostile environments where positioning, awareness, and risk management matter as much as raw gun skill. Following an earlier delay, Marathon has reportedly evolved significantly, with improvements to visuals, core mechanics, and overall balance shaping its current form. Features like solo queue options and proximity chat have been introduced or refined based on internal testing and community feedback, helping define the tone and structure of matches. While there is still no publicly confirmed commercial release date, the game appears to be in a late development and preview phase, with ongoing teasers, updates, and documentation suggesting steady progress toward launch.
Death. The end of all things. But the dream is not over.
Cinder City is the official title of a highly anticipated MMO tactical shooter developed by NCSoft's Big Fire Games and powered by Unreal Engine 5. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic version of Seoul in the 23rd century, blending science fiction and alternate history within a dense, seamless open world designed around realistic firearm mechanics and large-scale tactical combat. Early reveals highlighted high-fidelity visuals, dynamic lighting, and a richly detailed city inspired by real-world locations, aiming to create an immersive urban battlefield. The narrative centers on humanity's struggle to restore hope after a catastrophic crisis, with the ruined city itself acting as both a setting and a storytelling device. The project is positioned as a major technical showcase for Unreal Engine 5 while targeting long-term MMO-style engagement. Lords of the Fallen 2 is the officially confirmed sequel to the 2023 dark fantasy Souls-like RPG and is currently expected to launch sometime in 2026. Developed by Hexworks using Unreal Engine 5, the game continues the series' focus on brutal, methodical combat, imposing bosses, and a grim, oppressive fantasy world. New gameplay footage shown at major gaming events has offered extended looks at combat flow, enemy design, and environmental scale, signaling a broader and more ambitious world than its predecessor. The sequel is being built with expanded co-op progression in mind, allowing players to experience more of the journey together without sacrificing challenge. World design is also being pushed further, with interconnected areas and enhanced visual fidelity shaping a darker and more detailed experience.
Powerful. Hungry. Darkness within. And deliver on.
Wu-Tang: Rise of the Deceiver marks the legendary Wu-Tang Clan's return to video games for the first time in over 2 decades, presenting a co-op action RPG steeped in Afro-surrealist and anime-inspired visual style. Players fight through stylized combat arenas using customizable fighters while experiencing a narrative centered on saving Shaolin and harnessing powers drawn directly from Wu-Tang lore. The game emphasizes expressive combat, strong visual identity, and a soundtrack featuring reimagined classics alongside new material curated by a top producer. Up to 3 players can team up in co-op, blending narrative progression with action-focused encounters and character customization. While no official release date has been announced, the game is planned for PC and consoles once development reaches completion.
Find them.
Echoes of the End is a third-person action-adventure that released on August 12, 2025. Developed by Mirror Games and published by Deep Silver. Players take on the role of Rin, a powerful warrior with magical abilities who journeys across the fantasy world of Ima to rescue her kidnapped brother while uncovering ancient secrets buried within the land. The game blends sword-based combat, magic abilities, platforming, puzzle solving, and exploration across handcrafted environments inspired by Iceland's dramatic landscapes, including glaciers and lava fields. Combat combines precise melee attacks with devastating vestige powers, and Rin is accompanied by a companion named Abram, whose abilities complement her own during encounters. An enhanced edition introduced faster pacing, improved controls, reworked early progression, New Game Plus, and new equipment options based on player feedback, and while the game has received mixed reviews, it has been praised for its storytelling and visuals, even as some players have criticized aspects of combat pacing and design choices.
I'm sad.
I won't even break a sweat.
Because I have to be responsible for you, Core. I almost killed you.
Forza Horizon 6 is the next major entry in Playground Games' open-world racing series, published by Xbox Game Studios and officially set in a fictionalized version of Japan that features iconic locations such as Tokyo, Mount Fuji, and a wide range of rural roads. The game was revealed with a teaser during Tokyo Game Show 2025 and expands on the Horizon Festival formula with more than 550 collectible cars, deeper customization systems, dynamic seasonal changes, and player houses that include customizable garages. Event Lab returns with expanded tools that allow players to create, share, and experience custom events, including cooperative multiplayer creations. Forza Horizon 6 launches first on Xbox and Windows on May 19, 2026, with Premium Edition owners gaining early access starting May 15, 2026, while a PlayStation 5 version is planned to arrive later in 2026. The Cube is an ambitious multiplayer RPG shooter and MMORPG hybrid developed by Munfish, the studio known for Atomic Heart, and was officially announced during Summer Game Fest 2025. The game is built around a massive levitating cube that dominates the skyline and contains unknown phenomena, shifting environments, and a mysterious equation at its core that could fundamentally reshape reality. Players explore constantly rotating biomes wrapped around the cube's geometry, facing dangerous enemies, large-scale bosses, and environmental hazards while progressing their characters through deep customization and progression systems. Combat is fast and intense, while exploration plays a central role as the world itself changes around the player. Multiplayer is a key pillar of the experience, and recent announcements have mentioned upcoming stress tests focused on server performance, signaling active development and ongoing optimization ahead of a full release.
Revealed itself. What if it was always there and we...
Thorgal is an upcoming adventure action game with RPG elements based on the iconic Thorgal comic book series, created by Jan van Hamme and Grzegorz Rosinski. Players step into the role of Thorgal Egirsson, a Viking warrior with mysterious origins as he journeys through mythic landscapes and faces enemies drawn from human factions, gods, monsters, and supernatural forces deeply rooted in the comic's lore. The game aims to blend combat, exploration, and narrative-driven moments while revisiting well-known characters and locations from the source material. Development is being handled by Mighty Koi Studio. The project currently has no confirmed release window and is listed as launching when it is ready, while community discussion has included controversy around development challenges and criticism regarding transparency and progress, including public disappointment voiced by fans and the original comic creator. Deepest Fear is an upcoming sci-fi horror first-person shooter that combines retro-future aesthetics with immersive sim and Metroidvania design principles. Players take on the role of Dr. Danny Carroll as they explore Neptune, a deep-sea research facility where a long-buried secret has unleashed something terrifying beneath the ocean. The game's defining mechanic is its real-time fluid simulation, allowing environments to dynamically flood and enabling monsters to emerge unpredictably from water sources, turning the environment itself into a constant threat. Gameplay blends atmospheric and strategic combat with exploration puzzles and player-driven problem-solving, drawing inspiration from classic sci-fi horror influences such as The Thing and The Abyss. Developed by Variable State, known for narrative-focused titles like Virginia and Last Stop, the game is planned to release on PC first and currently has no confirmed release date, remaining listed as forthcoming while continuing to build attention.
What the hell have you people been doing down here?
We stick to the plan.
Place is falling apart! Water's flooding in! Oh my god!
Star Wars Zero Company is an upcoming single-player, turn-based tactics game set during the twilight of the Clone Wars and developed by BitReactor in collaboration with Respawn Entertainment and Lucasfilm Games. Players command Hawks, a former Republic officer who leads a squad of unconventional operatives brought together to confront an emerging threat capable of consuming the galaxy if left unchecked. Gameplay focuses on tactical squad management and decision-making rather than real-time action, offering strategic combat encounters that draw inspiration from classic turn-based strategy titles while remaining firmly rooted in the Star Wars universe. The narrative emphasizes gritty, ground-level missions across both familiar and new locations, presenting the Clone Wars from a fresh perspective through original characters and morally complex scenarios. The game aims to combine thoughtful tactics with strong storytelling to deliver a more intimate and strategic Star Wars experience.
See. But that's the job.
Beautiful Light is an upcoming tactical extraction shooter where squads of 3 enter hostile zones with a single objective: secure a powerful artifact and escape alive. Each mission pits players against rival human teams and terrifying player-controlled anomalies, creating a constant sense of pressure where every encounter carries real consequences. Death is punishing, as losing a fight means forfeiting your gear and mission progress, reinforcing the game's high-risk, high-reward structure. Developed by Deep World's SA using Unreal Engine 5, the game emphasizes tense firefights, horror atmosphere, and objective-based gameplay rather than endless scavenging loops. Players gear up with weapons, gadgets, and protective equipment, complete missions, and extract by calling in a helicopter, all while being hunted by both enemies and anomalies. The game also features asymmetrical gameplay, allowing players to control monstrous anomalies with their own progression paths. After pre-alpha playtests and trailers throughout 2025, the developers have stated they plan to release the game only when it feels truly ready, with a current launch window set for December 2026, and additional early access phases and playtests planned along the way. Kingmakers is an action strategy sandbox hybrid, developed by Redemption Road Games and published by TinyBuild. Set in medieval England around 1400 AD with a deliberately anachronistic twist, players are sent back in time from a doomed future, armed with modern weapons and vehicles, in an attempt to prevent an apocalyptic outcome. Gameplay seamlessly blends third-person shooter action with top-down real-time strategy, allowing players to command armies of swordsmen, archers, and cavalry while also jumping directly into the battlefield using firearms, vehicles, and mechanized units. The project has been in development for several years and was originally planned to enter early access in 2025, but it has since been delayed indefinitely, including a last-minute postponement just days before its intended release. As of now, no new launch date has been confirmed, leaving the timeline uncertain despite continued interest from fans. In addition to the game, Kingmakers also has a feature film adaptation in development, with major industry partners attached to bring its time-bending narrative to the big screen. End of Abyss is an atmospheric sci-fi horror action adventure developed by Section 9 Interactive, a studio formed by developers who previously worked on titles such as Little Nightmares. Players control Cell, a young combat technician tasked with exploring a mysterious and abandoned facility filled with grotesque creatures and long-buried secrets. The game blends visually haunting environments with tight combat and deliberate exploration, combining elements of top-down and isometric action with Metroidvania-style progression. As players move deeper into the facility, they unlock new tools, discover hidden paths, and piece together narrative fragments that gradually reveal the truth behind the setting. Early trailers and demos have highlighted tense encounters, unsettling monster designs, and a slow-burning atmosphere that rewards careful movement and observation, building a sense of dread through environmental storytelling and escalating threats. Total War Medieval 3 is the long-awaited return of the classic historical strategy series and was officially announced on December 4th, 2025 as part of the franchise's 25th anniversary celebration. Developed by Creative Assembly, the game is positioned as a spiritual revival of Medieval 2 and aims to deliver the ultimate medieval sandbox experience, allowing players to rewrite European history through a combination of turn-based campaign management and real-time tactical battles. The title is being built on the new Warcore engine, which promises more detailed visuals, deeper simulation systems, and expanded technical capabilities. Currently in early pre-production, the project has no official release date and is expected to require several years of development, with community speculation placing a potential launch around 2028 or even later due to the early state of development and the introduction of new technology.
We bear the weight of pain.
End of.
Patience and time will beget our gain.
We are stability.
So,
How will you
Shape
Your realm.
La Divina Commedia is an upcoming dark fantasy action RPG inspired by Dante Alighieri's The Divine Comedy and developed and published by Giamma Games. The game reimagines the literary journey as a procedurally generated extraction dungeon experience, where players descend into infernal realms filled with demonic enemies and shifting environments while shaping their character through a sin alignment system based on the 7 deadly sins. Gameplay blends hack-and-slash combat, exploration, and narrative-driven choices, with randomized dungeons, unique weapon classes, and progression paths influenced by decisions tied to sin and virtue. Each descent challenges players to survive the depths and escape while dealing with the consequences of their moral choices. Officially announced in 2025, the project currently has no confirmed release date, with plans to launch on Steam first and additional platforms to be announced at a later time.